Good damn morning, Americans. Jericho Green here with you once again. Get all green gear 25% off, promo code Jericho1. All caps and the number 1. So, I just finished watching Bidenis Pervertis give his address to the nation. I mean, did I say Biden? I meant fucking Eeyore. Because everything was, oh, the virus and vaccine. Like, is he the president or is he a sales rep for Big Pharma? Because all he was talking about was vaccination, vaccination, vaccination. Vaccine, vaccine, vaccine. That was it. Like, that's the only thing going on in our lives. Is it an important thing? Is it a big thing? Yes, but it's not the only thing. Oh, and speaking of big things, toward the end, I think it was at the 21 minute and 51 second mark, where he's talking normal, and I shit you not, he like leans in on the podium and he's like, America can do anything, hard things, big things. I was like, whoa, man, you're still in front of the nation. You're still at the podium, man. What the fuck are you doing? Did an 8-year-old walk by? Why'd you get like that? Like, I'm serious. It's a noticeable difference. He leans in and he goes, hard things. America can do anything. Hard things, big things. Like, damn. You need a cigarette after that fucking line. No bullshit. Check it out. 21 minutes, 51 seconds. Fortunately, it was only about 24 minutes long because that's all it was. These are all the people, the grandparents and the husbands and fathers and daughters that we lost. It was all sad shit. We're all going to die. Chicken Little. The sky is falling. And I shouldn't call that a speech. It should be called the presidential reading from a teleprompter. You can see him staring down the teleprompter the whole time. And how are you reading the words and still messing up the words? Did they spell them messed up? Do you have a dyslexic speechwriter? Because I'm thinking they wrote it correctly, but you just can't say it correctly. Is this your first time reading it? I've read things in front of audiences before. I like to read it once or twice before, so I'm not out there fumbling over my words. This had to be the very first time he saw this speech. This could have been the first time he saw some of these words in his life. First question, what the fuck did they give him? Because he was wide-eyed and alert. Not the Biden we're used to seeing 6 other days of the week, but this day, he was wide awake and alert. I don't know what they injected him with, some Adderall or some shit, I don't know. They gave him something. That wasn't the same old Joe. That was somebody different. That was the Joe we saw in part of the debate against Trump. We hadn't seen that guy in a while. Well, he came back for the presidential reading of the teleprompter. And some of the shit he said, and I wrote this down. I want to make sure I got this right. He said, all or never near American public. All or never, and he didn't say never near. He said never near. You know, they kind of run together. His words run together sometimes. All or never near American public. End quote. From our president. Well, not my president, but you know what I mean. He's in the White House. That's who said that. And then he says, it's true. He talked about how Johnson & Johnson and Moderna, how they're working together for the American people. These two conglomerates are doing this out of the kindness of their heart. Shut your mouth. Shut that hole under your nose. So he says, it's truly a national effort, just like we saw in World War II. This ain't nothing like World War II. In a lot of ways, even in World War II, we're in a better position, especially when it comes to this everything is offensive to everybody all the time bullshit that we find ourselves in. You can piss in here if you feel like that today, or you can use that locker room if you feel like that tomorrow. That kind of shit. We are in no times like we were in World War II. People, when's the last time you had an aluminum drive, a rubber drive, a sugar drive? Sorry, kids, no sugar in the Kool-Aid this week. We had to donate it to the war effort. Sorry, guys, we can't go on a bike ride because we had to give our rubber to the war effort. What have we donated other than our liberties and freedoms to this pandemic? Nothing. Shut your mouth about comparing anything, any way America is now to World War II. And then he said, he was talking about the CDC, how we're going to follow the CDC's guidelines. And then he said the CD will continue to provide guidance. You left a letter out. Now, did they write CD? Did this speech all of a sudden, or this reading of the teleprompter, all of a sudden turn into a talk of the old ways of us consuming music? Or did you leave the letter out that they wrote in front of you? So the CD will continue to provide guidance, whoever the CD is. But I think he meant the CDC. Then he said, if we do all this, if we get vaccinated, everybody gets their vaccination when you have a chance. If we, by July 4th, if we do all this, if we do our part, if we do this together, there's a good chance that you, your families, and friends can get together in your backyard for a barbecue or a cooking. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for the barbecue. I avert my gaze, Your Highness. Thank you for allowing me to get together with my family in my backyard to put flesh to flame and light some fireworks. And if you're in California, light some sparklers. I don't like the way that sounds. I don't like people that I employ telling me that if I'm good, I might be able to have this. Especially some basic ass simple shit like a barbecue on the 4th. And then he said, this doesn't mean big gatherings. This doesn't mean like concerts and stuff. This just means small gatherings. After you're vaccinated, so why am I getting vaccinated? If nothing's going to change after I get it, then why am I getting it? Some people here at my work, there's a place near here that was giving vaccines. I guess there's a difference between the Moderna and the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. And so they signed up for the Moderna. They told them, we're giving you the Moderna. But they ended up, by accident, giving them the Johnson & Johnson. So then they had to call everybody back and say, oh, oops, our bad, we gave you the Johnson & Johnson. Just little things like that. But if you all line up and get your vaccine, you might be allowed to get together in small groups in your backyard to have a barbecue or a cookout, which are one and the same. I'm not sure why he said them differently, but that's what he said. A barbecue or a cookout. Thank you, Your Highness. Now, again, is he speaking for the American? Is he sponsored by us or is he sponsored by Big Pharma? Because this was just one long-ass 24-minute commercial for Johnson & Johnson and Moderna. He didn't talk about the border. He didn't talk about another invasion coming from the border. I guess our sovereignty and border security don't mean shit to them because he didn't mention it. And he didn't mention China. I'd say that's much more of a threat than COVID-19 and the sweet and sour sniffles. Because them Chinese cats are coming through the border too. It's not just Mexican people. It's not just South Americans. There's Africans coming through there, Chinese people coming through there. And what do you think they're coming here for? Oh, that's right. They're coming here. They just want a better life. You know what? How come we never see footage of Africans and Chinese people and shit in these groups and these hordes of people coming to bum rush our border? How come we never show them? They only show the little brown faces. They don't show the little yellow faces or the little black faces. Why not? They're in big enough numbers. Who's this? I think, what are they, second? After Latinos? I think it's Chinese people or Africans coming in here. So their numbers are pretty fucking high. I'm sure you can find a couple of them out in the desert. They don't want you to know that shit. They don't want you to know the real threat coming through our southern border. Didn't mention it. Just get your vaccine, get your vaccine, get your vaccine. Here's your stimulus. Get your vaccine. That's what we waited for? 50 days into your fucking presidency for you to tell us this shit? What else is going on? What's going on in Syria and Iran? What are you doing about China and Russia? Building up their military and their navy, joining forces, building shit everywhere. Why didn't you mention that? Nope. Just get your vaccine. Listen to me slur my fucking words together again. And what's good is if you look, and I'll put a link in the description box to the video, his whole speech. But if you look at the thumbs up, the thumbs down, there are 7,000 thumbs up and 12,000 thumbs down. Let's keep that shit going. None of the comments that I read, of course, I didn't read all of them, but none of the comments I read were positive. None of them, which is good. I watched another video today about their fucking stimulus money that they're passing, that they're throwing down to us, the scraps they're giving us. None of those comments were positive. I hope it's a reflection of the majority of the American people, despite your political affiliation. Bullshit is bullshit, and we all need to unite and fight that shit together. We can go back into our little camps later, but we need to come together and fight this bullshit. Because they're passing gun laws and printing money and telling us about all this insignificant shit here. Meanwhile, the rest of the world is ganging up to kick our ass. And the one people supposed to be watching our back, the one who's supposed to be standing up for us, is asleep at the fucking wheel. Dozing off and shit after 7 p.m. watching the damn Wheel of Fortune. Man, let me get back in here for my state-mandated meal period. The only good thing California's giving me. But you know how it goes. I try to be done with the left, but they just won't let me. Please subscribe. Hit that notification bell because every time it rings, a piece of shit lefty cries. Get your Jericho Green notification tone link in the description box. Utilize the PayPal link and the Teespring link to get your green gear. I am Jericho Green. Man, I'm out.